Right, you're back with Brother Moti for this Wednesday morning. I am doing a fellowship with the Gracies, and we thought about giving you something very special because we have Brother Ray from Peru that's
Uncle
been
E.
Uncle E that has been fellowshipping with us, and I want him to share his testimony, what he witnessed with me when God had put his hand upon me when we were fellowshipping at the place that we're at now. So Ray, why don't you share with the audience and tell them from your point of view, what was like what you witnessed, what God had did for me when I had that second seizure?
Right. What had happened is we were together for a fellowship, and if I remember that day, you had two. You were going to do two fellowships. Mm-hmm. So you had started your moments with God at 3 a.m. So it was a long day for you. I think you were being tested, but we were together here, and Don here had went up to order some orange juice for you, or apple juice, and the beverages. And then what had happened while he was up there, I was talking with you, and all of a sudden you had looked up as if you were having a moment with God. And I was like, Mano, what's going on? Can we talk about something? And you wouldn't answer, you wouldn't respond. Another minute, I think, went by, and you still weren't responding. And then all of a sudden you just fell back in your chair as if you were being laid down on the ground for God to give me to see his work with you. And you didn't hit your head. I mean, there's steel legs on the chairs. There was nobody in the restaurant except for one paramedic. He was studying to be a paramedic, and he actually came over right away, and he helped you, Mano. He was right there. I feel he was an angel, as Don had mentioned as well. So that he was there, and your glasses were underneath you. They didn't get broken. You were just laid down, and the way I saw it in a slow motion, I thought, what's going on? Is he okay? But what gets to me is I think you were looking up as if you were having your moment with God. He was telling you, I'm going to be with you. It's okay. And just that alone, I mean, who looks up as if they're going to have a stroke, not a stroke, but a seizure. And that's what you had. And it's just amazing you didn't get hurt in any way. And God had made sure of that there was somebody in here, an angel, to take care of you.
Right.
So the whole thing was just amazing. And let's add too, we didn't have food. Mano, you could have been choking on food had you been eating at that moment.
Right.
We didn't even have the beverages. Don went up to do it. Why did God choose that moment with Don not watching it?
Right.
I saw it unfold as it was happening. I saw the whole thing. So I feel very fortunate. I just want to get this message out to everybody that, God is with us, and there are miracles, and people go through things not just because they're just going through it, but it's for others to see and have a testimony, which I saw with you that day. And let's not forget, when you were at the hospital, you started saying that there was one customer that came in, got her beverage, and left. Why are you remembering things before the seizure? Most people, what happened? I don't even know what's going on. Right. You remembered every detail. That alone is a puzzle. Why did that happen? Because God was with you the whole way.
And then also to expand upon that experience, I was talking with the waitress, and she said normally at that time, she's taking orders and it's really busy. People coming in and out, because it's morning, people want to get breakfast, coffee, what have you. But she said during that whole experience of when it first happened, when you fell down, paramedics coming in after that angel had administered to you, and they had taken you away. Nobody, came in, but there was no orders being taken over the phone. So it's almost like God had it totally silenced for this whole purpose at a time that's normally real busy.
Yes.
So that was kind of an interesting factor to...
normally there's people at that time. You're right.
Yes, and she said no orders during that normal busy time were even being taken.
Yeah, that alone is the whole timing, and you looking up, having your moment with God, which I didn't understand. Why was
Not
he looking
one
up?
person
You
came
were
in.
over there. So God chose me to witness that.
Right.
And like Don said, nobody was busy so that they could get right to the paramedics to come. as he was attending to you to
It
calm
was like
you.
30 minutes.
He was rubbing your back. Yeah, he was rubbing your back, Mano. He was giving you comfort.
see, right,
And you
I
were
felt
shaking
none
a
of
little
that.
bit. And he said, no, this is normal. It's okay. You're going to be fine. I mean,
He was very comforting.
Yes,
Knew
and-
exactly what to do.
Yeah, he's-
and we haven't seen him since.
never
How
saw
long
him.
ago was
No,
that?
what's going on with that? And you guys come here regularly. If we never see
Right.
him again?
See, that's what God does. God puts people in position, and that could have been my angel covering me. And from my experience, I felt nothing. Like I said, it was like He told me. He says, "No harm is going to come to you, even when I go through stuff." And I didn't feel, just like with that first seizure, I didn't feel anything. I just remember waking up in the hospital, and I'm like, "What am I doing here?" And you see, it's like you had a good sleep, and you wake up out of this restful sleep, and you wake up, and you're like, "Okay," And I felt, like I said, felt fine. I felt completely fine with that. So that's my whole point of just speaking. Hold on here. There we go.
It was amazing how you remembered. Yeah, Don went up to get the Jews, and then the lady came in. You just remembered all these details, and it's like, Don, when you have a seizure, you don't remember nothing. He remembered everything until the very moment that he had it. God was having a moment with you, Mom.
Right.
That's why you wouldn't respond to me.
He grabs your attention.
Why do you
grabs your
look up?
attention.
I mean, you were like this.
And your glasses?
They were
not
underneath
even
him.
bent. They weren't even bent.
They said, "Are these his?" Because they were on the floor underneath you and not bent in any way.
Yeah.
That's not a coincidence, Mano. And the legs on these tables, people can't see them, but they're steel.
Yeah, these
you coulda-
chairs.
He could have busted his head open.
And so these are the steel chairs. Right.
Show him the table line.
That's what I'm doing. Because this is the actual spot. I want people to see this is the actual spot where I laid here on that floor from that second seizure. So, and that's what I want people to realize how real God is. God is far greater than what's going on in the world now. Let me tell you, God is far greater.
Well, and I've grown closer to God because of you, Mano. Your whole testimony has helped me and my entire family.
And like he said, he wanted me to let people know that he is among us. That he says, your people of today don't think that I exist. And any way that I can do God's will to show people, to lead them to Christ, to lead them to the Heavenly Father, then I'm doing God's will. That's far greater reward in pleasing God's heart. So I love, and that's why I said, I want to do this. And that's what I was saying. Don't think that this is something that I've been planning for a lifetime. I have God has me completely doing complete opposite. Before all this happened, I was a private person. I didn't have time to sit down and go do fellowships. I didn't have time to do regular breakfast with people. I was always busy. Busy. I was busy. I was a worker. Like I said, I was a people person, but God has made me more of a godly person.
Wow.
So that's why I said we wanted to. That's why I said I want to give real moments for people because I noticed, like I said, with the channel growing, imagine the fellowship that we're going to have when we meet in person.
And it's all about testimonies.
Right.
Testimonies for him, experiences in life.
Right.
For his glory, instead of self-gain.
Right.
Yes.
So you heard it from Brother Moti as well as the Gracies, Uncle E, Uncle D. So we just kind of want to share our fellowship and literally
And testimony.
And like I said, you guys think this is something for Uncle E. Like I said, people want to know what you witnessed. Like I said, because you
That's
also
right.
get a testimony of witnessing what God has did. And that's why I said, no, while you're here from, you're all the way from Peru, so let's get it in.
I'm
And
here.
so-
Let's bring it on, brother.
all right, so stay lifted in the faith, and there's more to come.